Today for our daily routines, we are going to listen for an ending sound. So look at the word hand. What do you hear at the end of the word hand? Hand. That's the letter D, 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 and the sound D, D. So when I say these next words, I want you to listen for the ending sound, not the beginning sound. And I will kind of try to help you see where the ending sound is, or so you really know when to listen. So say the word sad. What do you hear at the end of the word sad? It's the letter D and the sound D. What do you hear at the end of the word bed? B-ed. That's the letter D again. And actually, it might help if we chop these words, because then you can really hear the ending sound and you can practice chopping. So let's chop the next one. Say the word fun. Let's try chopping it. Is that the letter D? No. Say the word pick. Let's chop it. Ick. Does k sound like Doc's letter D, D, D? No, it doesn't. Say the word band. What do you hear at the end of band? B-and. Band. That's the letter D and the sound D, D. Say the word head. Let's chop it. See what we hear at the end of it. Ed. What's that sound? D-d-d-d. That's the letter D. Say the word leg. Like this. This is my leg. Ooh, egg. G. Does that sound the same as D? No. Look at my mouth when I say it. G, g, g. D, d, d. I have to move my lips and my tongue and my teeth and they all to make a different sound, right? But if you're not looking, sometimes that one can sound like the letter D. The last one is the word road. Say road. Cars drive on the road, right? R-O-D. There's that letter. D, D. The letter D. Great job. We're going to do dictation next, so you'll need a piece of handwriting paper and a pencil. So for dictation, we are also going to be listening for that ending sound. We're going to write the lowercase letter for the sound at the end of each word. So it might not be the letter D every time. So this time we are just listening for whatever is at the end. And we're going to do more chopping so that we can really hear that ending sound. Say the word hug. Let's chop it and make that ending sound so that we can write that letter down. G. Let's try it one more time. G. Ah, I hear Golly's letter, but a lowercase. G. Hug. Write down the letter G. Say the word had. Let's chop that word. Add. Let's do it one more time. Add. D. That's our new letter D. So with a finger space, I need to put my pencil at the yellow line, curve around, push all the way up, and pull back down. Say the word mud. Let's chop it. D. What do you hear at the end? Oh, you know what? Let's chop it again. Let's do it 2 times. D. There it is. What do you hear at the end? That's another D. D. Start at the yellow line, curve back. It's like you're making a C. Push up, pull down. Say the word bag. Let's chop it. B-A-G. Let's chop it again. B-A-G. G. What is that last sound we hear? That's another letter G. Say the word frog. Let's chop it. F-R-A-G. Let's chop it again. F-R-A-G. G. What's that ending sound again? It is another letter G. My hand went wiggly at the end. Let me fix that. There we go. And the last word you need to say is the word wood. Let's chop that. W-U-D. Let's chop it again. W-U-D. D. What is that last sound we hear? The new letter D. Put your pencil down when you're done with that letter D, and we are going to check. You should have written down the letter G that says G. You should have written D, D next. After that, another D that says D. Then a G that says G. Then a G that says G. And the last one was a D that says D. The last part of our daily routines is going to be handwriting. You'll need 3 lines for this, so you might need to grab a new piece of paper if you don't have the space. What I'm going to do is write down the letters for one of the lines. It'll be 4 sets of letters. And then I want you to pause the video and make those letters. And then start the video back up, and I'm going to do the next line and then pause the video and make those letters. And then come back and I will do the last line and pause the video and make those letters. That way you are kind of watching, trying it on your own, watching, trying it on your own. So for the first line, right now you're just watching. We're going to make 2 sets of the letter D, uppercase and lowercase. So a letter D, an uppercase, starts at the pink line and goes down to the chocolate, and I lift my pencil up and go back to the pink line, and that's where I make my curve back down to the chocolate. And then a lowercase D. Starts like a C to make a D, push up to the pink line, and pull back down to the chocolate line. I'm gonna make an uppercase D and a lowercase D again. Do you notice how I'm using my finger spaces? And after that, I'm going to make 2 pairs of uppercase A and lowercase a. So uppercase A starts at the pink line and it slides left, go back up, slide right, and connect those 2 lines on the yellow line. And a lowercase a starts just like a C and a D and a G at the yellow line. Curve down to the chocolate. Whoop! Forgot what letter I was making for a second there. Go back to the yellow and pull down to the chocolate. Okay, so now you can pause the video so that you can make your 4 sets of letters. And when you're done making those letters, come back to the video. All right, so did any of these letters go past the chocolate line? No, they stop right there. None of them go far down like this letter G does. And do any of these letters go higher than the strawberry line? No letter does. There's not a single letter that goes above the strawberry line. So if that is happening to your letters, you need to erase and fix. I'm going to do the next row. It's going to start with an uppercase D, and a lowercase d, and an uppercase D. Uh-oh. I think I forgot something. What did I forget? Oh, no, I have to go to Fingerspace Joe. Or I could just erase it and fix it, right? I think so. It was a really nice D, but I didn't put a finger space in there, so I have to try again. Uppercase D and a lowercase d. Does that look better? I think so too. Then we are going to make a uppercase G. And uppercase G starts up at the pink line and it curves down to the chocolate line and around to the yellow line, but that's where I stop. So I can slide in. All the way in? No. Just about halfway. And then my lowercase g starts like a C or an A or a D. And I push up till I get to the yellow line, and that's where I stop and pull right down that same side. And then I'm going to make one more uppercase G and lowercase g. Now you can pause the video and make your D's, your G's, and then come back. All right, so let's see. Did you put finger spaces in? I hope so. If you forgot, just erase and fix. Did any of your letters go higher than the pink line up here? No. None of them should. Did any of your letters go lower than the chocolate line? Yes, look at our lowercase g. It gets to go past the chocolate line and hang out there, make a little hook. All right, we have one more row to do. So I'm going to start with an uppercase D and a lowercase d. And then what do I need? Say it. Finger space. And I'm going to make another uppercase D and a lowercase d. And then I'm going to make an uppercase O. An uppercase O starts at the pink line. And it curves down to the chocolate line and all the way back to the pink line. It's like a circle. And a lowercase o starts at the yellow line and curves down to the chocolate. Hey, that looks like a C. If I stopped there, that'd be a C. But I need to keep going because it's an O. And I need another finger space to make an uppercase C that starts at the pink line and curves down to the chocolate. And then a lowercase c that starts at the yellow line and curves down to the chocolate. All right, pause the video, do that last row, and then come back. Okay, so now that you have all of those letters, I forgot to check the second row, and we have to check the third row. Oh my goodness. So on the second row here, you should have written D, that says D. D that says D, G that says G, G that says G, D that says D on the bottom, another D that says D, the letter O that says A, and the letter C that says K. And I just realized I didn't actually check the top row either. I was remembering when we checked up there. Oh, okay, so let's check the top row. D that says D, D that says D, A that says A, and A that says A.